Good afternoon, everybody, or rather good morning. It's 11:50. Today's Thursday. This is my second final video of the week. Going to jump right into this and kind of cover as much ground as I can in a very precise manner. First and foremost, we have some action with the Fed, Scott Bessent. We've got a lot going on in the regards to Treasuries. So let's dive right into that. So first of all, let's correlate this with the NASDAQ so we can take a good look at this. So we had this correction, and there is a gentleman that I think if you guys have Twitter, you should follow him. His name is Nick Tomadorossos. He works for the Wall Street Journal. I've been following him for years, and really his position initially was insignificant, but he was the guy that during Jerome Powell's Fed chair holding, when he was the Fed chair, Powell would leak information on purpose to him to get out in the open, whether it was quantitative easing, quantitative tapering. And I know some people are going to say like he would leak information. Yes, it was given to him, Nick, that works for the Wall Street Journal, to be able to provide that information out in a different manner. And so we came to learn, at least I came to learn, that Nick gets this information relatively quick. And Jerome Powell is kind of still in his ear, so to say, even though Jerome Powell is not the Fed chair, but he is still a Fed member. And it was told a couple days ahead of time that the Treasuries market was going to be backstopped by the Fed. And this is going to sound like a lot of Chinese, but it basically means that the Fed is, for all intents and purposes, doing the same thing that was proposed when Janet Yellen did it. If you don't know who she is, she was back during Biden's administration and even further back during Clinton's administration. She was the Secretary of State, the position that Scott Bessent is right now, the Treasury. In any case, just understand and know that we're backstopping and with Treasuries. I'm not going to go into the minutia of what I think about that because I think that's completely irrelevant, but that just basically means where I'm trying to get to is that the market is being backstopped essentially with miniature quantitative easing. So liquidity is being driven in. So that had a pretty large effect on the market the last couple of days in some correlated measures. Actually, yesterday, the market, even though it finished up a couple hundred points, the NASDAQ, but a lot of areas of the market performed really, really well yesterday. And so the NASDAQ right now is still hovering over the 21, giving back a little bit, down a little bit over a point. There was, obviously there's some news going on about, Walmart earnings were pretty shitty, and that really affected the retail names. I think we're going to pick up quite a bit here. But anyways, the market is down. The overall plays that we are in are actually doing pretty good. At least my names that I'm in my portfolio is doing pretty exceptional right now at the moment. So I think we're picking good stocks. This is a stock picker's market. So if you're not picking the right stocks, you're going to get left behind. If you think the market's going to take everything up or down with it, it's not going to happen. You still have to be diligent and pick your names correctly. So with that said, I'm going to jump into Bitcoin because I've been right. I'm not trying to be braggadocious in no way. Bitcoin had a big move the last 2 days, and this is a product of the liquidity in the market. This is exactly what this is, and that's what's pushing it up. We are now over the 200-day moving average here. We've broken out of the channel. I have been telling everybody since we were at about $60,000, you should be in IBIT calls long if you want to play Bitcoin. I am in those. I am now up over 60% just on those calls that go out to next year. I also have increased my Bitcoin purchases and BTCI. I've also increased that. And so what you see here is IBIT, which is clearly broken out of its channel. This is the cleanest way to play Bitcoin in a stock. If you don't own Bitcoin, but you need exposure, I have IBIT calls that have a 30, I want to say a thumb. So these are doing great. I think this has only just begun. I'm being honest. I think this Bitcoin move has just begun. I think the FOMO will kick in. I like the volume yesterday on this big move. And you could even see, here we go. Here's the Trump Clarity Act push. That's also the Bitcoin or the crypto push from this administration. That's here nor there. I don't think that really matters. But the Treasury buyback by Scott Bessent is And again, this is from Scott Bessent. Sorry if I got everybody tongue-tied with Jerome Powell. I was just going into Nick from the Wall Street Journal, but this is an initiative from Scott Bessent, knowing exactly what he was going to do to push the market. However, this reflects Janet Yellen's exact. I find that to be quite interesting. I know some of you are not going to have any idea or understanding what I mean by that, but Janet Yellen fell under Democratic administrations, and I personally do not like Janet Yellen. I think a lot of her policies were terrible. However, what we're doing right now is exactly resembles what she wanted to do and what she did at one point. So the hypocrisy in it all. So anyways, all right. So Bitcoin, IBIT calls, we're doing great. BTCI, if you're into that very boringness, is also doing very good. Doesn't look like it on this chart. Dividend days today. Oh, that means we got our dividend. This pays an annual like 36% dividend. Anyways, I think this will get back to probably somewhere around this area. I would expect $38. The good news is if you've been holding this, you've gone through some pain, but you have collected quite a considerable amount of dividends. I own this. I own IBIT calls. I own a considerable amount of Bitcoin. Yeah, so long that. All right, that's enough of that. Oil is up today again. So there's been a lot of reports also, and I'm trying to give you guys information that a lot of, and I mentioned this on last week's video, a lot of misinformation regarding the Strait of Hormuz. And it appears that from all accounts from being reported on other parts of the country that oil is passing through there. Oman also is another strait area, is helping. Trump did say yesterday if Oman, if they interfered, he'd bomb them and bomb the shit out of them, whatever. So, I think oil is moving quite the contrary to what the misinformation in the United States is. This is up again today. I will once again add to my short. I'm so comfortable doing this anytime it's up. This is going to have a lot of resistance up in this area. This is going to get pushed down at some point, but oil's up. So just pointing it out. All right. I'm trying to go as quickly as I can go through this. Gold. Again, capitulation. The low is in. I've been long gold. I'm pretty heavy in AU, Anglo Gold Ashanti. This one is making a great move. I'm up. I don't know. I'm up probably somewhere around 20% on this. This is my favorite one to own if I want to have exposure to gold. I happen to own a lot of gold, but here nor there. GLD, which is the ETF that reflects this. I know some people like to play call options on this. This is not sexy enough for a lot of people, but this is over the 200-day moving average. I think this has only just begun as well, but here nor there. All right, I'm using that term here nor there quite a bit today. I find I use some stupid terms often on some of these videos. All right, now let's go through it. Let's go to the main stock of the week, which is Moderna, which is the hated COVID stock. For those of you that did not get COVID vaccines, you hate this. I'm one of them. I hate this stock. I hate this company. I hated everybody that profited off of this ridiculous vaccine. I know for some of you, everybody, don't come for me. Don't come at me. Sorry. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, just an anti-COVID guy. Anyways, yesterday it was announced that their phase 3 trial of melanoma cancer trial was positive. The stock went absolutely berserk. Got up to like 175, 180, came down quite a bit, down 20% today. So here's what I told some people and understand. I did play this yesterday. I put this on a short time frame and I day traded this once in shares. I did not play calls. If you don't know how to play options, you should never have played this, or you should not play this. If you're not seasoned in options, you're either going to get very lucky in a period of time and your confidence is going to build and you're going to feel like you could do this more often, and then you're going to get burned, or you already got burned because the value and the intrinsic value on this was out of control. I didn't even play options because I couldn't stare at my screen. Here's the thing you have to know. Let me get to it and cut the point. The short float, this is a very heavily shorted stock. So the minute that it came out in the morning, pre-market, that these trials, the stock was up, I knew the stock was going to keep going up for a period of time because the shorts had to cover on the market open. Sure enough, it did. We had phases and new shorts entered. And I'm sure there's new shorts that entered at the end of the day yesterday. And sure enough, those new shorts, they're up 20%. This is not something I'm touching right now. Either way, I played it just on a day trade. If I play this, it's going to be on a day trade. I will tell you this will serve up to be a good short, a good solid short. It's just not there yet. I'll advise when it's there, kind of like what we did with SpaceX. Patience, 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 and it'll play. All right, let's keep it moving. ELF, kind of a benefactor from Estee Lauder's report, continues to grind up. I told you guys I got in this, I think around 92 bucks. So I'm only up like 10, 12%, but this is looking really comfortable, really healthy, and we're going to keep grinding that one higher. All right. So we touched on those plays. Those were new purchases of last week. UWMC, which I will say was up yesterday and is down a couple points today. This is my small little United mortgage play. I thought that yesterday, the backstopping the market, because all the Treasury yields, let's go back to it for a second. All the Treasury yields went down yesterday, so I thought mortgage companies would be benefactors. It did not appear so. And now today, all the Treasuries are back up. This is terrible. This is absolutely awful. But anyways, all right, going back. So I'm still in this. I did buy the dip the day before. On Tuesday, I bought the dip. Again, I made this in my video. This is not a massive position for me. This is very speculative. This is a dollar plus stock, so take it easy. Down now 3%. Back down, whatever. Okay, moving right along. Let's do memory, because the talk of the town is always going to be memory. Memory is leading the way in the AI cohorts. I bought the dip on Tuesday. Or Wednesday, I don't know. Yesterday was Wednesday. Yeah, bought the dip, up again 2%, just having a little bit of resistance trouble there on the correlating moving averages. I think this is going to break out. Again, I think this is the best looking memory stock. For you, those guys that are short time traders, short frame time traders, and you guys, oh God, I'm tongue tied. Sorry, I digress. If you're an individual that is looking to play calls, I probably would lean more towards SanDisk or SNDU or a double, triple leveraged ETF. The problem is the call volume again, and a lot of people are starting to get very greedy because they're making some money in calls and they keep going in. I'm hearing this more and more every day. If you're not seasoned in options, you're going to get hurt. SanDisk, I think, looks good. It does not look as good as Micron. Instead of playing SanDisk calls, if your thesis is an up, play the double levered. I mean, this is a $23 stock. If you're looking to do quick trades, I find that I enjoy double, triple leveraged ETFs like this a lot better than playing options. The reason is I cannot stare at my screen all day and have short time frames unless if I'm in my office. It's just not conducive for me. So anyways, Micron is the best looking memory name. Penguin is another one. But Penguin got thrashed. I got stopped out of the trade. I got right back in, and I got stopped out again. Like, instantly lost like 7%. Like, I'm done trading this. I can't trade this. It just doesn't work for me. I mean, granted, you could make an argument. This is a cup. This is a handle. It's building the right side of the base, and it might go. It's just not working for me. And some stocks, when they don't work for me, I'm not going to fight it. You have to understand sometimes that some stocks you just can't trade, and they're not going to work. IMNM, fantastic. I went balls to the wall on the pullback on this. This is probably one of my largest positions now, down 4%. Certainly a buying opportunity. I'm looking to get in right above that average. This is not financial advice, but rather for educational purposes. This is my favorite biotech stock. Not profitable, very speculative. They're a buyout candidate. So just for the record, they don't have really any revenue. So buy with caution, but it is my favorite one and probably my largest position. TG Therapeutics, this is the maker of the multiple sclerosis drug. They do make money, but they're also a buyout candidate. I'm still in this. I still think this looks fantastic. I just think some of you are so impatient that it just doesn't work for you. I don't know what the rush is with some people. All right, Intuit up again today. I feel like Intuit is up every day. This has worked out quite a bit for us here. I'm up now off the bottom. I mean, look at this thing. The bottom was in at like 250. It's already at 363. I have a pretty large position. This does report earnings next week. If this keeps grinding higher, maybe I take a little bit off or I hedge my position with selling some covered calls. I don't know. At the moment, I'm up over 30%, I think, on this. This looks great. I talked about this is just a fundamental undervalued stock. Okay. Moving right along. All right, let's do Dell. So Dell had that nasty day yesterday. Still looks okay to me. I'm still in it. It's frustrating, but this is the way it goes. And yeah, I mean, about 10% off the all-time high. I'm still in it. That's all I could say. I do think this is a stock you should own. Again, not financial advice. I just can't see not owning this with the correlation to AI. Their earnings were ungodly. You've got the administration pumping them. Yeah, I'm going to keep owning it. My stop loss is, I think I have at the bottom of this wick, if I'm not mistaken, I have a half a stop loss. I think. I don't even know because I don't even have my trading account pulled up. So, but for the record, I just don't think you cannot own Dell. All right, let's do Tesla real quick. So Tesla, I think the bottom was in. I talked about this. I bought this after earnings, and some people I got texts they're like, but dude, you don't buy. You're a guy that buys strength, not weakness. And yeah, fundamentally, it's kind of hard to deny that Tesla was undervalued. And I bought those 2 days, and so far those purchases look pretty good. I mean, there's some days of give back, but as to be expected. But I think this looks good, and earnings are behind them. Robo-taxi, the semi-trucks, a lot of catalysts in the future. And if any news or rumors about their merger or there's some things going on about SpaceX, this could be something more me for long term. I like Tesla. I have a lot of conviction in there. I do think that this is going to fill the gap. I talked about this 2 weeks ago. I do know 3 different people that are in 370 calls. They're out till next year. I do think it's going to fill this gap. Usually most gaps like this get filled. So if you're a trader short term, this is a pretty obvious gap fill here. That's my opinion. Play it in shares, play it in calls, play it whatever the hell your heart desires. That's all that I own. I think that's all. Well, I still have Microsoft, which isn't doing shit. It's just kind of pissing me off. But, yeah, I mean, that's all right. This is nothing. Microsoft is fine. I still think I can't tell you what to do. I own this. I think this is going above $600. I just be on record. I think this is going above $600. And then finally, I own a couple other things. I'm not going to go through them because I'm giving you the plays. The S&P, which I don't really ever get to touch on. I am going to touch on this for 1 second. This officially went into a power trend yesterday. Doesn't look like it. Mike Webster is the famous guy that worked with William O'Neill. You could also find him on Twitter. Great follow. Very nerdy guy. He's the one that he invented the term power trend on the correlations of how they work on volume. We technically went into a power trend. He is a CAN SLIM trader. If you don't know what that acronym is, look up CAN SLIM. William O'Neill invented that. That's the way I trade. It's what I stick to. This is in a power trend. Because it's in a power trend, I did buy S&P. So I bought SPY, which is the S&P. I bought SPY this morning for calls. Long dated calls. I also bought JEPI, let me put it to you like this, a larger amount than I would disclose. This is a call covering ETF. This is very conservative, but I got confirmation on a power trend. This is more of just larger dividend collection, but also with the component of upside. So I bought that. This is very boring shit for most of you, and most of you want to get rich fast. I don't think this is applicable to you guys. All right, so that's pretty much it. Bitcoin's raging. Yeah, I think Bitcoin is going to get up here. I think that's going to happen. I think IBIT calls are going to give us the great year. I think it's safe to say, I think IBIT, I think 50 is I'm not going to say it's a lock. I think it's a lock. Can't guarantee it, but 50 is, I think it's a lock. Anyways, all right, that's all I got. 20 minutes. I'm gone. You guys have a great weekend and monitor the market. Do your due diligence. Set your stop losses for fuck's sake.